Hey guys, time once again for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So here we are on a Thursday and decided to get back on the 69 Cowlick Bug and hadn't really messed with it for a while, although stuff has been kind of moving along nonetheless. So we had Octavio and team do the aftermarket Ragtop, which had been installed in the car many years ago. I'm sure probably in the 80s. It's actually a pretty cool little Ragtop. It's funny because it's definitely a lot shorter than a factory Ragtop, and maybe a little narrower too, narrower like in this direction. But it's actually a really neat little Ragtop and went in really nice. Of course, Octavio and team always do a great job of everything. So there it is on the inside with this perforated headliner, and yeah, you can see the latch mechanism here. Kind of cool. Yeah, definitely like an 80s appropriate accessory for this car, and I have no doubt that Ragtop was originally installed in the 80s. So that was done last week, I think, and so now I'm finally kind of getting back on this car. And so last I left off with it, I had been kind of wrestling with these one-piece windows and trying to figure out a good solution for the scrapers. The scrapers that come with the kit are kind of a joke. They're just freaking awful. And I tried. There was just no way to get them to work. They were junk. So played around with a bunch of different things, and finally I think I've got something that I'm happy with here. So you can ignore that green tape. There's some weather strip adhesive that I want to let cure for 24 hours that this is helping to hold the weather strip here. But basically what I ended up doing was using out of a split window Beetle. For those of you that know your Volkswagens, you'll know split window Beetles had one piece windows from the factory, so they were kind of the original Cowlick cars in that sense. So one piece scraper out of a split window, so those go the whole length here. And then basically what I ended up doing to hold it to the door was, here I can show you. Originally what I tried was, well, one of the many things that I tried was using these kind of little push-in fasteners. They're just like little automotive fasteners. You can find them anywhere. I tried those originally with the split window scrapers, and basically what I did was I just went and I put little holes in the scraper and then pretty much attached it, every few inches with those, and it was still trying to kind of be wonky in there. When you'd roll the window down, it was trying to kind of pull it down, and there just wasn't really enough support with those things every few inches. And then the other problem is since these cars had vent wings, the little holes in the inside of the door here stop about right here, because from there forward it was all vent wings. So the original scrapers, only mounted up to about here. So those little holes that they snap into also stop about there. And so today I kind of had the epiphany of taking the metal strip, which goes on the scrapers that come with the kit with their crappy weather strip, and basically using these metal strips with the split window scrapers. And so I went ahead and assembled one of those and put it in, and lo and behold, it seems to work really well. The only thing I had to glue was that I glued again kind of the front part of it here, where there's no holes for those little fasteners to hold it. So kind of the front edge here is glued in. But basically what I also ended up doing was I ended up extending this metal strip so that it went another couple inches forward to support. Let's see if I can do this with one hand here. Apparently I can't do that with one hand. Okay. So the metal strip, you can see the length of it there. So basically what I did was, on the one that's in there now, is I extended that metal strip up to about here or so. So it's really even supporting that last few inches of of the window scraper in there. So the window scraper is supported pretty much from end to end with the metal strip, which really kind of reinforces it. And then the front edge here is also glued to the body, and then the whole back from about here back, there's 7 of these little fasteners that hold it. So had the window up and down a couple times, and I think it's going to work really well. Anyway, that was kind of a long-winded explanation, but really lots of trial and error. And I think I'm finally at a point where it looks really good, really happy with how it looks, and it seems like it's going to work really well. And then the inside, I'm going to go ahead and use this, which I had on here earlier, is kind of like felt type weather strip that has adhesive on it. So that actually works out really well. So that'll be the inner scraper will be that, and then the outer one, the split window one, and hopefully this will all work good, and that'll be the end of that. But yeah, I got back on that today and finally think I'm having light at the end of the tunnel for that. So once I finish putting those together, probably the next thing on this car is actually going to be to start thinking about putting the motor in. And so the car, when it came in, it had like a very 80s looking louvered stainless steel firewall, and then including the sides. Originally, I was all for running that because, again, this is an 80s car. But I'm starting to have second thoughts, and I'm going to need to talk to the owner about this. I think that having that louvered stainless steel firewall behind the Van Halen engine, I think it's going to be too much. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put the long block in the car and then put that firewall in, and then put this fan shroud and stuff on and kind of see what it looks like. See if it's like, whoa, that's too much. And get some pictures of that. And then, I don't know, we'll see from there. I'm almost thinking that what would look better would just be the very plain black sort of tarboard engine compartment sound mat. That's just, like a black sort of neutral background. Like you can see it here on the 63. So I'm almost thinking it would be better just to have the plain background there behind this motor, and that would really kind of make the motor pop a little bit more, having black all behind it versus this stainless steel louvered firewall back there. I don't know. So we got to play around with it. We want it to look bitchin', but we don't want it to be too, kind of over the top in some ways. So I don't know. We'll see. And ultimately, it's up to the owner, but I'll probably kind of mock it up both ways and see what he wants to do. But yeah, the motor going in is going to happen pretty soon, especially since we have his bitchin' A1 merged header and his A1 dual quiet packs here. Super killer exhaust system. It's going to look bitchin' on there. Very 80s appropriate with the dual quiet packs. So yeah, that's going to happen soon. So stay tuned for that. The other thing I did today is the Devil bus itself here. I got the generator and regulator back from the auto electric guys that have done some work for us in the past, and they fixed it. And the issue was that the 2 wires that come out of the generator and connect to the regulator, somehow they had been installed backwards. So the one that's supposed to be for the field was installed on the positive, and the positive in the field. Not sure exactly who did that. That was before my time at the shop here. So at some point, somebody installed those 2 wires backwards, and you could see how that would cause lots and lots of problems. So those guys straightened that out, and I reassembled the everything and got it back together and fired it up, and boom, the generator light went out. Boy, was I happy when that generator light went out, because I was like, yeah, this car is still going to find a way to be evil and make me want to jump off a cliff. But in this case, problem solved, generator light went out. So yeah, now I gotta actually probably drive this thing now that now I think I'm running out of excuses. You guys know I don't like driving customer cars, especially anything this nice and worth this much money. But yeah, I think it's going to be about that time. So soon it will happen. On that note, it may not happen tomorrow because tomorrow I'm probably only going to be in the morning for a while, maybe half a day. My family and I are going to take a trip up the coast a little ways, up kind of San Luis Obispo area, which we really like. And for some reason, we like going there in the fall. So yeah, tomorrow I'm just working half a day. I'll still try and film a short day in the life video and get that up for you guys that look forward to our videos. If there's anyone out there that meets that description, then I'll try and get one up. Again, a short one because it'll be about half a day. But yeah, that's what happened today. Jacob came in and we did a little bit of wiring on his car. We had to extend the wires for the 2 wires for his alternator. They're basically, the stock wiring harness was made for a 6-volt generator, which has the regulator sitting right on top of it. So the wires were kind of made for that length. So we had to extend those 2 wires there. Not a big deal. And yeah, so that is it for today, guys. Appreciate you all watching. And we will see you again tomorrow for a short episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.